Dog gives birth, then doctors realize they're not puppies. When Everly the pit bull was taken in by a local shelter, she was extremely emaciated and also very pregnant. She also had some sort of wound that had been stapled shut with an office stapler, not by a doctor. As soon as the shelter's staffers saw what kind of condition Everly was in, they knew she needed more help than they could provide her. She was so weak, and they were worried she would struggle giving birth. They began reaching out to rescues, trying to find someone who could take her in, and luckily, Ramapo Bergen Animal Refuge stepped in to help as soon as they heard about her. Before Everly could be moved into the care of the rescue, though, she went into labor and gave birth to 8 tiny puppies. The shelter quickly moved Everly into the care of a local vet while she waited to be picked up by the rescue. Everly desperately wanted to be a good mother and care for her new babies, but she was so weak that she could barely even hold herself up. The vet separated her from her babies and began bottle feeding them until Ramapo Bergen Animal Refuge arrived and took in the sweet little family. We're well known for taking in emergency, senior, special needs, and desperate cases, Franny Larita D'Annunzio of Ramapo Bergen Animal Refuge told the Dodo. We got her on Tuesday and took her straight to Dr. DeMaria, our vet. She put Mom and babies back together with hope that the proper care and nutrition she could care for them herself, which is best for all of them. Everly is anemic, and so the vet had been taking regular blood tests to make sure that caring for her babies isn't compromising her own health. The babies are being weighed every day to make sure that they're gaining weight, as rescuers will give them supplemental bottle feedings if they're all at underweight. So far, they seem to be getting stronger by the minute. Unfortunately, one of the 8 babies passed away in the first few days, but the other 7 are continuing to be little fighters, just like their mom, who's trying so hard to keep them safe and healthy. While rescuers are still concerned about Everly's health, caring for her babies actually seems to be helping her. Her puppies have given her a purpose and a reason to get healthy, and she absolutely adores caring for them. We think it's been good for her own health, too, so far, Dr. D'Annunzio said. She may have been sad or worried about them. Everly is a very loving dog despite what she's been through. Her spirit is amazing. Everly's litter is made up of 4 boys and 3 girls. They don't have names yet, and rescuers plan on naming them once they get a little stronger and start showcasing their personalities more. As soon as everyone is healthy and weaned, Everly and her puppies will be all up for adoption. Until then, they're happy in the care of their new friends. A true story of survival and love. We are so proud of the sweet girl, D'Annunzio said. We want everyone to know that this is the true heart and spirit of our pit bull friends, so full of love. This was an incredible situation. A pregnant dog who is almost killed for meat has given birth to a litter of puppies in safe hands. The terrified mother was traveling on a truck alongside 385 other distressed dogs in China, heading to the barbaric Yulin Dog Meat Festival. Moments after her escape, she gave birth to her babies with food, clean water, and a bed to lay and rest. Images captured by No to Dog Meat charity volunteers show the tiny newborn puppies suckling from their exhausted mother at a safe refuge on the outskirts of the city. The new additions take the total number of dogs rescued on the mission to 389, all crammed into small wire cages in the sweltering heat. Many were suffering from infections and skin diseases, and lots of stolen pets still had their collars on. The dogs were saved by Shanghai police, animal activists, and locals who intercepted the moving vehicle that had been traveling around Chinese villages, rounding up defenseless animals. Mr. Zhao, who runs No to Meat Dog shelters in Hebei and Beijing, witnessed the tender moment the mother gave birth to her puppies after experiencing such trauma. He said the idea that these innocent lives have now been saved fills us with joy. These puppies would have been born in Yulin. We're working hard to give all these dogs the care they need, and they have a traumatic ordeal and need medical treatment, but they're safe now. The dogs have been moved to a police quarantine facility for 21 days, where they will recover and receive veterinary care. After this time, if the trafficker refuses to pay a hefty fine, which is likely the case, the dogs will be released to the activists. Yulin is an ancient city in China known for holding a dog meat festival from 21 to 30 June. purportedly to celebrate the summer solstice, where an estimated 10,000 dogs and cats are killed and eaten each year. Far from being ancient or traditional, the festival, known worldwide as Yulin, was created recently in 2009 to bring business to a place that was economically depressed. It's estimated that in China alone, 10 to 15 million dogs are eaten annually. Some figures say 50,000 per day. Far from dying out, the dog meat trade is thriving. Highly profitable industry thanks to a strong network of greedy restaurateurs, meat dealers, and butchers who have convinced the public that eating dog is healthful and fashionable. This is a heartwarming story. Shelter dog Blossom came to the staff pregnant with an advanced case of heartworms. After losing all but one of her puppies, Blossom became frantic. But when someone heartlessly threw a litter of puppies out the window, it gave this grieving mama dog a second chance at love. The Westie and Scotty Rescue Houston took Blossom in when her owners decided to give the 3-year-old mama dog up. Since she was pregnant, Blossom's heartworm treatment would have to wait until after she had her puppies. In the meantime, the shelter's intake coordinator, a caring woman named Maggie Escriva, took Blossom home as a foster pet. Blossom gave birth to 3 puppies, Bluebell, Begonia, and Buttercup. Sadly, Buttercup is the only pup to survive. The other 2 most likely picked up infections in utero. Mama dog grieves the loss of her babies. Blossom's loss upset everyone at the shelter, but none felt the heartache as intensely as Blossom herself. She couldn't even bring herself to eat. Maggie describes the mama dog as frantic after losing most of her litter, which added to the heartbreak the rest of us were feeling. That's when Maria heard about another litter of puppies in need. A cruel individual tossed 8 puppies out the window of a moving pickup truck in a town near Houston, Texas. Sadly, 2 of the pups died. The other 6 were so young their eyes weren't even open yet. The newborn puppies desperately needed a mama, and since the shelter dog Blossom had just lost her own litter, Maria thought bringing them all together might just save them all, and she was right. Shelter dog Blossom gets a second chance. Maria brought the 6 puppies to her home and placed them with Buttercup. They weren't quite sure how the grieving mama would respond, but her reaction was completely heartwarming. Blossom looked at the puppies, she said, then climbed into the bed and started cleaning and feeding them. The abandoned puppies now had a loving mama to care for them, and Blossom had second chance at love. Since the pups were now part of Blossom's garden, they were given names to match: Meadow, Fern, Petal, Reed, Forest, and Ash, and they flourished under the loving care of their adopted mama. The Westie and Scotty Rescue Houston is in the process of finding forever homes for all of Blossom's pups, and once Blossom has had some time to heal, she'll get started on her heartworm treatments. Another mama dog was incredibly rescued. A UK mom is demanding answers after her beloved dog's entire litter of 13 puppies died at the vet. Alina O'Malley, a hospitality manager in Derby, England, intended to breed puppies from her American 11 bully dog named Arizona. O'Malley told Derbyshire Live that Arizona did not have health complications and her pregnancy developed normally. Although Arizona was doing well, O'Malley worried about the potentially taxing effects of delivering a large litter. In April, she decided to take her dog to the Easy Pedicures practice in Derby for a C-section, the procedure she blames for what came next. "My whole world has been shattered when I took my beautiful Arizona for a C-section." Alina O'Malley. "My whole world has been shattered when I took my beautiful Arizona for a C-section," the owner told Derbyshire Live. This disaster C-section resulted in 13 healthy puppies dying within 2 hours of the C-section. C-sections are generally considered safe for dogs and may even be recommended for certain breeds. Arizona was in the first stage of labor when O'Malley handed her to the vet. She claimed she emphasized that nothing abnormal was reported about her dog's labor. O'Malley left while the surgery was being carried out. In a phone call, the office told her that the births had gone smoothly. Arizona and her litter of 13 puppies were all healthy. The excited owner began preparing to hand feed her puppies, researching special milk online. 2 hours later, she received another call. The vet, to my absolute astonishment, said all 13 puppies had died. Alina O'Malley. The vet, to my absolute astonishment, said all 13 puppies had died. At first, the staff member told O'Malley that there was liquid in the puppies and none of them took their first breath. But once she got to the office, she claimed the account changed, with staff telling her that 2 puppies took breaths and they focused on those 2, but ultimately failed to save them. O'Malley said there had to be more to the story. I would have understood losing a couple of puppies, but a whole litter tells me something went drastically wrong, especially after the initial phone call that stated all puppies and Mom were healthy as well, she told the local outlet. The owner is furious over the surgery that she believes led to the loss of the litter, demanding more information from the vet. She said to Derbyshire Live, "I have no answers, no reasons as to why 13 beautiful souls were taken away." In a statement to Newsweek, a spokesperson for Easy Pet Care said, "It's not our policy to comment on individual patients. The welfare of the animals we treat is our top priority at Easy Pet Care, and we take any allegations of substandard delivery of care extremely seriously. This case has been thoroughly reviewed, and we are confident that our team gave appropriate guidance and good quality clinical care at all times. We offer our condolences for the client's loss. I have no answers, no reasons as to why 13 beautiful souls were taken away." Puppies are very vulnerable to illness and environmental stress during the first 2 weeks of life, when they cannot regulate their own body temperatures, according to VCA animal hospitals. In this early period, they also struggle to regulate their fluid and energy levels and lack fully functioning immune systems, leaving them susceptible to infection. The term fading puppy syndrome describes puppies who are apparently born normal but gradually die within 2 weeks of birth. Pre-weaning puppies, including stillborns, normally die at the rate of up to 30%, without about half of those losses happening in the first week of life, VCA reported. Some dogs who lost their puppies have adopted litters. Last month, a French bulldog whose singleton died at full term was captured caring for 3 Frenchie puppies who'd been abandoned by their owner. In 2021, a Minnesota dog who lost her entire litter adopted 10 puppies whose mother had recently died. Another miracle happened. A bulldog has given birth to a miracle puppy with bright green fur. Trevor and Audra Mosier thought the worst after they saw the pup's unusual color and at first thought that she had been stillborn. She was part of a litter of 8 born in Canada to Mom Freya, but started behaving normally and has been thriving ever since. The tiny pup started life with no health issues and her green tinge being put down to an unusual process in the womb. Trevor told Global News, "We started to dry her off and noticed she was green and immediately again thought there was something wrong. So we Googled it. My puppy is green. What's wrong? And apparently it's very rare and has happened a few times all over the world. When Freya had gone into labor again, it was much different from other births. A black sac surrounded the puppy's body compared to her siblings, who are all surrounded by translucent sacs. The couple at first thought something was wrong and believed that the puppy was stillborn. After she was born, Trevor cleaned Freya with hot soap and water, while her mother began getting used to the new litter. Suddenly, Freya went into labor again, this time looking much different. A black sac covered the body of the puppy, unlike her siblings, who were all in translucent sacs. The couple thought something was badly wrong and were concerned about her appearance. The Daily Star reports that the rare discoloration of her fur is thought to come from a green pigment found in the bile inside the sac. Trevor was amazed by the rare event and was very lucky to have witnessed it and be part of it, revealing that he is now working with his wife to come up with a name for the special puppy. Current favorites suggested by friends on Facebook include Fiona, a tribute to Shrek's sweetheart and princess, as well as Wasabi, Hulkette, and Pistachio. Unfortunately, her fur is expected to fade into a normal color as she grows older, losing its green appearance. Dr. Bronwyn Crane, a veterinary reproduction specialist from the Atlantic Veterinary College at the University of Prince Edward Island in Canada, experts believe the probability of a dog being born green was less than 1 in 10,000. Global News reports that since the puppy's birth, the green pigment has faded significantly and will continue to do so until she is older. Trevor posted about his green pup on his Facebook account, asking for recommendations on what to call the unnamed canine. A mom dog who has a large litter of puppies produces more lochia than a mom who has a smaller litter. Sometimes a puppy from a large litter will come out coated in green lochia. This could be more likely for the last puppy of a large litter, and if the mom had the rest before they were born, because they are more likely to get coated in lochia in the birth canal. When this happens, the color will disappear as soon as the mom finishes licking them clean. By 24 hours after the birth, the color of the lochia should change to dark reddish-brown, and the quantity will gradually diminish over several weeks. Green discharge lasting more than 24 hours or any color of discharge with a foul smell requires immediate veterinary attention. An even more impressive way that Labrador puppies can be born green is if biliverdin escapes the placenta that makes its way to the amniotic fluid surrounding the puppy. If the puppy is exposed to the biliverdin for a while, it stains their fur green, so that even once mom has licked them clean, they still appear green for a week or two after birth. How biliverdin ends up in the amniotic fluid isn't understood, but it is unusual. When a green puppy is born, it might not be immediately obvious whether they're green because they coated in lochia or stained green from biliverdin in the amniotic fluid. You'll need to wait until mom has cleaned them up and their fur has dried off. Depending on how exposed to biliverdin their fur was, a green puppy might stay green for a day or two, all the way up to a week or two. The phenomenon hasn't been observed enough to confidently say whether being green has repercussions for a puppy's health or chances of survival, but anecdotally, it doesn't seem to be a concern. In 2017, a brown Labrador dog named Millie in Lancashire, England, gave birth to a green girl puppy that her owners named Fifi, after Princess Fiona in the Shrek franchise. Also in 2017, Rio, the golden retriever, at the top of this page, gave birth to a litter of 9 puppies, including a green puppy named Forrest. His breeder reported that in the end it took just over a week for him to fully degreen. In Sardinia on October 9, 2020, a mixed-breed sheepdog called Spelechia gave birth to a litter of 5 puppies, including a green boy puppy her owner named Pistachio. His owner, Christian, chose Pistachio as the puppy to keep from the litter because green is one of the colors of the tricolor national flag and represents hope and good luck to Italians. 2 weeks later, and nearly 6,000 miles away, a white German Shepherd dog in North Carolina named Gypsy also gave birth to a green puppy. His breeder nicknamed him Hulk at first and later Pikachu as the color started to fade.